in France are GB.
Yeah.
Germany and NGB. Spain are GB.
Spain
Portugal.
Spain are GB.
The inaugural edition.
Yeah. Spain are GB. Portugal.
Spain are GB. Yeah.
Couple. On that final, Spain, Portugal. No. A lot has been said about it, but me sure say a teenager be a PA in recent times, a certain weight of responsibility. As one it said, that's why I'm on the pain. But I think he called for it.
Okay.
And he called for it because he is ready for it. Name said they make what he has here. Maradona and Argentina for na man the pressure, sir.
Okay.
Neymar when he emerged. Brazil for na man the pressure, sir. Make us because they did not take them to major tournaments at very young ages.
Okay.
Argentina decided against using Maradona for World Cup 1978 because I feel I know also. And they felt with the likes of Daniel Passarella, team no, they don't really need a teenager, a young boy, to come in. Although say na or the talk of Argentina, no more dinner home come. Again, Neymar, World Cup 2010, there were talks about I could be a P.A. Santos. Yes, the new Pele. Oh, man, fino cry. I'm not fan about World Cup, maybe. But Yamal at his age, very young, Spain into a major competition, Euro 2024. Then they brought him along. Then he came to the tournament, he delivered. The only time a teenager be at an tournament or shiny was Pele.
Yeah.
1958 FIFA World Cup. And then eventually he lit up the scene. At a very young age, Pele, 17 years and some 100 days plus. Oshe, 3 goals in the semi-final of the FIFA World Cup against France. 2 goals in the final against Sweden. 6 goals in the tournament overall. 17-year-old. If you see pictures of Pele within that Brazil setup, and this will be the other if you see him with the Brazilian players, clearly you will know. So, Apofrekuma unity PR. I have a good news the man football. No? And the only time they are not able to handle the weight of responsibility when they are not ready. And now say circumstances are fire new before Leomo. The case of Ansu Fati, injuries.
Yeah.
Obieti obi intimi interest and anochina yama bepra. Nobody can do that.
Yeah.
Menya sure say fortune teller bia wo yesa. So so that is the only time to me hamper obi yet absolutely talented and destined for greatness. I think Yamal, he's just ready. Okay. And now ready now why no? I bet she had the right time. Can Messi be Spain national team nim and I am a PR. We just sanko benye bia bonesa. Case in reference.
Okay.
When the day you emerged, our Black Stars in him no. Opien it was at the time the Black Stars had peaked. And yes, Adia Uncle Suya were under 20.
Under 20 number.
Exactly. But check when Atri emerged. He was integrated into the team because there was a need for a player and a profile Atri.
Yeah.
So timing is very important. So Yamal emerged at the right time. Definitely. I don't think that BBA is in the crime. But regarding that game, and come on, me person me deeper teach you here. The ongoing discussions or debate between who is perhaps the better midfielder between Vitinha and Pedri. Vitinha
and the
Pedri. Yamal and Ronaldo come on, but I mean, sure say Yamal no cry no. Or bang Ronaldo baby. Yamal person and Ronaldo aya
traso.
Yes, dear Okaman who are Opowo no. Ejamo who are then. Because you get it.
Yes.
So Yamal no need your person here. So Obesia Nations League final no share goal. Nations League semi final no share 2 goals.
Ronaldo who be a
why yeah. So there is nothing new under the sun. So my interest lies in the Pedri Vitinha battle.
Okay. Midfield honor.
Exactly. Who is a better midfielder? I think the recency bias may play much more into the favor of Vitinha.
Okay.
So they are saying Pedri, no, nobody say Pedri, but I think they are both special midfielders in their own way. So Shadrach Mboye, my sending away be. Or check here, there is one data MB comparison of Pedri and Afe Vitinha. They are similar, but not the same type of midfielders. Mechanics say Baku looks like all round the kakra. And Baku looks like a bit of defensive deficiencies kakra. Until end of that screen is on. Dear Nidia na so quiet a pink no a Vitinha. Blue no a Pedri. So you can see in terms of forward passes, a woman said Vitinha bought more forward passes than Pedri, but omo bensuan is a munti bebresa. So Vitinha's forward passes here 98.4. Then Pedri forward passes here 95.7. But forward pass percentage, it means Vitinha bought more forward passes percentage-wise than Pedri. Tina Vitinha and the forward pass percentage, 99.6%. That's what you want now. When you name one, okay. And Pedri is much more into reorganizing play, distribution before carrying or passing forward. But check your mummy and uswa. The no volume of key passes don't was seen in your corner. It is Pedri. Yes, Vitinha no bought more forward passes or bought more forward passes in terms of percentage. But in terms of key passes, then the Pedri bonnet don't was saying Pedri key passes here 95.0. Vitinha is 61.4. So it goes to explain how important Pedri is. Our Barcelona setup name. Okay, Vitinha will help with distribution and playing forward passes, but when it comes to the key passes or the final passes to lead to goals now, there will be somebody or what Vitinha anymore and that will be mostly the Dembele more. Into Vitinha the obe pia the akwenim. But in terms of key passes, he won't be the ones to play it. But what Barca setup name, Pedri is mostly responsible for playing crucial passes, key passes at the moment. Then progressive passes. Vitinha again, or Topol, Pedri. But another aspect of Vitinha game now, Pedri, the defensive metrics. Say baby, at the ball need Jumabiano. I say Vitinha bro Pedri, so the only exception, key passes, or bro Pedri so in terms of carrying, or bro Pedri so forward passes, or bro Pedri so in terms of progressive passes. But key passes now Pedri won a throw. But when it comes to working without the ball, a holding a Pedri unity, the chain the Vitinha, and that is in the duels and the defensive actions. Duels percentage. Now say the number of percentages are Pedri involved in say me tackle me winnie ball way I was seeing Vitinha there on the screen. Pedri 94.1, Vitinha 43.6. Again, this will be not just about their profiles, but the roles assigned them our teams or mobile. What PSG coach Emma role playing said me more involved in defensive actions. Toujours Neves and Fabian Ruiz. Now Vitinha at the ball Nedi Juma. Although he involved himself in the duels, but the primary role who's a numbers so they are similar profiles, but they don't do exactly the same things in their respective sides. But they are beautiful midfielders. To further elaborate on Omumi Shadrach Maya's Cocker, a more comparison matrix, just to assess the two players. They within a league. But competition Omumi this season, the Champions League. And in the Champions League too, who the two players, Vitor Machado Ferreira and Vitinha, and Pedro Gonzalez Lopez, Pedri. Vitinha bought more minutes and more games than Pedri played, and he scored 2 goals in the Champions League. But also about more open play passes than Pedri played. Again, about the role, the coach, he created 2 assists. Pedri also created 2 assists. Chances created. Pedri, despite playing limited minutes, created more chances than Vitinha. 24-23. Again, so key passes now the trail. So in as much as Pedri bought more open play passes on completing and don't want to say Vitinha at the end. He is responsible for creating a lot of chances from those passes. So he's mostly involved with playing key passes for his side. Passes attempted. Vitinha bought 1,300, Pedri in 897. Passing accuracy, Vitinha 93.63. Pedri 89.97. But you see that Pedri bought more true balls than Vitinha,
yeah.
despite Vitinha bought more passes than Pedri. Then the duels, defensive actions, who say clearly, Pedri broke Vitinha, so 120 duels contested, 37 tackles made, but take-ons, some of the ball, Bame, Cheon, you, he has 22, and then Pedri has 17. Take-on success, Pedri in tie yes, but he is more successful than Vitinha, with a take-on success percentage of 77.27. Vitinha is 66.67. Just as we can see on the screens.
Yeah.
Then the ground duels. Aerial duels, you'll be doing them a big disservice because omuni height now, contest the aerial duels. But ground duels, from tackle, try to retrieve. You can see clearly Pedri is ahead of Vitinha. Ground duels contested, ground duels won, ground duels success rate. Bro Vitinha so. But Vitinha is doing well for ball recoveries and then for touches. And then Pedri also tends to lose possession more than the Vitinha. Pedri is a better in terms of conserving possession than Vitinha because Vitinha no ball never no hold. And since a ball never no hold, he will likely lose more.
Yeah.
Ntisana etie. So similar players. But me say a role like the more.
Yeah.
And if we will see the best of these two players, game ni more. It will depend on the roles of more respective coaches. When you're more club at a national team, it might be different. But once a man for be complaining, Anna Pedri and coach ne born double pivot with Zubimendi or game no more boy against France now. Or man said they win here, although he scored a goal, but they did not see a vintage Pedri performance. Vitinha so only then the coach grab and channel and all the be second half. So these are two excellent players on paper, but it is about how you use them. And if their coaches are using them as per se I think the two of them will play crucial roles in our team, our chances of success in the game that will be played tomorrow. Pedri is an influencer. He helps to influence things for his team. Vitinha as well, he's an influencer as well. But quite offers are using no any asem no. Minim sa umre na so a na nka be pese me di tennis in komoka krabing.
Just 2 minutes.
Okay, no problem.
Bad time,
The Roland Garros final neighbor. So for the first time, I think that since the 80s, the top two for the WTA and then the ATP facing each other.
Yeah.
The Roland Garros final. So Shadrach de Tosua, Coco Gauff, Airport Arena Sabalenka. Sabalenka is the number 1 ranked female tennis player in the world and the number 1 seeded tournament in him.
Yeah.
And Coco Gauff no yet second ranked, but on the US or many that's after Serena Williams.
Yeah.
Then Carlos Alcaraz and so way Jannik Sinner.
Yeah.
Sinner number 1, Alcaraz number 2. So we are going to see for the very first time since 1984. The single finals a Grand Slam event. Roland Garros, Yenya top 2 for both men and then women. And man the 1 p.m. Between the two, there is difference being you will find it difficult to separate them. 10 meetings head to head. Obia winning 5-5.
Okay.
But they are all gunning for their first Roland Garros title. Sabalenka and Roland Garros Nibida, but she eliminated the reigning Roland Garros champion in Igor Swiatek.
Okay.
Utras Swiatek in 3 sets. Anna Coco Gauff so also gunning for the first ever Roland Garros title.
Okay.
The only time the two of them met in the final of a Grand Slam was US Open 2023. To check here to it now. Who said Coco Gauff Arena Sabalenka.
Yeah.
She lost the first set 6-2 and Onobabe winning 6-3, 6-2 at the complete year. But the difference today will be about 3 important things. 1, the return percentage of Coco Gauff. Omo ina ye big hitters. In tennis, you can't big hitter. And say, omo forehand nemu edu. Omo severe air ding. So be returning.
Yeah.
Exactly. So the return percentage of Coco Golf is very crucial.
Okay.
What I've seen about Sabalenka here, and now so you big it and she's mostly dependent on short rallies.
Okay.
You can't short rally. Now it's a tennis. Me serve it, return it, me serve, return it, and then you short na air ball.
Okay.
Now the more na you con a rally.
Okay.
9+ shots, a long rally.
Okay.
Extremely long rally, a beyond 9 shots. But in between 4, 5, and a medium shot.
Okay.
It is Sabalenka and I'm saying serve ni mu edu ninti or serve ya or return ya air. In tennis, you on your mom, you know. It has a serve no wound to me return it, and now I will put you in a situation where say, oh, return me serve now, home back through. Intimate serving a do speed room, so you will be forced to return it into a return shot, and yet so much in a way a be putting me at a disadvantage. Now my son's hit the second serve, exactly. The Sabalenka does not like long rallies. After 4 shots, it was so real. Cetra 4 shots now. Not I say oh yeah impatient. Then she's forced to make mistakes or overhit the ball.
So
exactly. So anytime we are Coco Golf it is when Coco Golf the return percentage is spot on. And she's able to take Sabalenka on long rallies. Next year bomb and abro 9.
Now waji
exactly no a winning point there's
one per long rally no
exactly.
Coco Golf more.
And it will be very, very important if Coco Golf to me find it an excellent return percentage against Sabalenka. Again,
on me.
Sabalenka and on this year 10 on which channel 5. Who's which channel 5? It means she knows what it takes to beat Sabalenka. The only thing here how she's able to apply it. Game name. So it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, sure.
Now you're interested in the but my prediction is Sabalenka to win.
Oh yeah.
And I'm man so Yannick Sinner any Alcaraz.
World champion.
Alcaraz here nemesis for Sinner. Since 2023 Beijing, Alcaraz were 105-1 record. There's an opponent who show mono. Omecha na 5.
Okay.
But within that range, Nipa which na do upon Alcaraz.
Okay.
Or a 1-4 record against Alcaraz. This will make you better understand. From August 2024, your next Sinner lose to Obia a 47-0. Within that time frame, the only person who try your next Sinner Alcaraz a 0-2.
Okay.
In 2 meetings, Alcaraz a channel. And before this, our last final room, Alcaraz in try your next Sinner. And whenever these two, me and for 4, Omusia. It always goes the long haul. You call 5 sets. You extended the call. When you nyonku ye, send me ya be betwa. We so nim nyonku ye. But Alcaraz the was nothing any endurance. He's a fighting bull. And the endurance na marvelous. So Ochina, when the two meet again, it will be about Alcaraz say obe provi a nemesis for your next Sinner and Asena. This time around, we'll find the antidote to defeating Carlos Alcaraz. So it is going to be interesting. And also, the taping is so winning. I think Senna is in fantastic form. I am hoping, say, for once, Obenya go over Carlos Alcaraz. So Sabalenka and Bano and the Yannick Sinner Memano.
Okay. Me da se, why? A man de me wo hopa anti Sabalenka de say
I don't know
o tennis near fepa say Serena anti na me ani je tennis no ye pa
then wo me your fair
Serena Williams baby a obi a chiao
then wo tennis was a Coco Golf for Serena kakra.
Oh yeah so
and their stories so similar when the papa na de ni remo Serena so mo papa na de o mo remo o mo nyina America for we were 21 years. If she wins it she will become the youngest American to win the Roland Garros since Serena. So yeah, so very interesting storyline.
Fantastic. That's it, champion.